Yes, what's up everybody? Jake Fletcher here and welcome to my first market update video of 2021. Now that 2020 has concluded and we have all the data from that year, we can take a look back at it, see what happened, see what we might expect to happen in the near future here in 2021. We're taking a look at Miami-Dade, single family homes, townhomes, and condos. So all the major property types at once, okay? And this is based off of 27,000 listings from January 2020 to January 2021. January 2021, as of while I'm filming this, hasn't completely ended yet. So we don't have all that data. We can only make kind of estimated conclusions about that, but we'll get into that in a moment here. So let's take a look. What we have here at the blue line is our months of inventory, which, quick refresher for everybody, months of inventory is if no new listings came on the market, how long would it take to sell everything that's on the market at any given point in time? And the green line is our number of new listings, and then I overlaid average sales price on top of this graph so you could kind of get an idea of what happened with that as well. All right, so right here on the bottom we have our months. We have new listings on the side here, 1,000 up to 5,000, that's per month. And then we have our months of inventory over there as well. So it goes from 5 months up to 25 months of inventory on our scale here, just so you guys are, everybody's on the same page. So what do we have here? Our months of inventory, we see directly when COVID hit in March. This is basically in the United States. This is when coronavirus kind of popped off. Everybody started taking it seriously, and we saw our months of inventory go through the roof at the same time that our number of new listings dropped significantly. So why is that? Why is a drastic reduction in the amount of new listings? How does that correlate with it taking longer to sell fewer listings? Well, because there was a lot less closed sales. But what happened is, once everybody realized and real estate was deemed an essential service and people kind of got their feet on the ground with coronavirus, everybody learned we got to wear masks and stuff like that, and real estate can continue. Boom, we saw the new listings go back up. It wasn't historically like year over year what it had been in past recent years, but definitely was a far cry from that dip down to almost 2,500 listings that came on the market in March versus what typically we'd have like between 5,000 and 6,000 in March. So huge reduction in what we normally would see. But we saw it pop back up there once everybody kind of got their feet on the ground, and then it kind of stayed consistent until the holiday time. You usually see a little bit of a dip in the number of new listings in any market because it's the holidays, less people are listing their home, but we're gonna touch on that in a second too. So then with our months of inventory, we saw, boom, like we said, it really got high there for a second. We were up to like 15 months of inventory across all property types. And then what we saw is, boom, our months of inventory went down. So what does that mean when our number of new listings was relatively consistent, but our months of inventory went down? That means that there was more closings happening, right? So kind of we see the period of time here where it takes to get something under contract, and then you go through all the inspection period and everything, and then finally make it to the closing table. It takes a little bit of time, especially during COVID. Things were closing about 45 days on average, at least in my experience. So what happened then is our months of inventory was more or less sort of consistent, and then at the end of the year, we see it actually went down a little bit, right? While we see our months of, our new listings also went down, right? So again, what that means is that the fact that those months of inventory went down at the same time that the new listings was going down is the demand remained consistent, right? And in fact, the demand kept getting, there was more and more demand as interest rates continued to decrease this year. We started off the year at like 3.25-ish, and now interest rates, 30-year fixed rate mortgage is about 2.8-ish, depending on your credit. I've seen people closing like 2.6. Just crazy, ridiculously low interest rates, which gives you more buying power as a buyer. So that, coupled with the fact that there was very little supply on the market, has led to a drastic increase in average sale price. So what happened is we started the year at $443,000 average sale price across all property types. And then we ended the year at $718,000 in Miami-Dade across all property types for average sale price. Insane, right? And keep in mind, if you characterize single family homes by themselves, they're actually more expensive usually than a condo. So those were in the 900s. It was like 920 something $1,000 is what we ended average sale price for single family homes, whereas condos and townhomes were like between it was like 560 something average sale price at the end of this past year. So, but they averaged out to $718,000, which is just mind blown, okay? So what does this mean though? What does this mean for the consumer, for a buyer or a seller of real estate? Well, like we kind of talked about for buyers of real estate, with interest rates still remaining low, and looks like they will likely remain low for a good period of time, at least probably for this next year, that is going to give you more buying power, but it does seem like months of inventory may continue to kind of be consistent, because we might not see much of an increase in inventory of new listings. Although what we are projecting here, based on kind of the first 2/3 of January, we have enough information to project that we will see by the end of January that we'll have an increase in the number of new listings, right? So we have an increase in supply, but it's only slightly, even though there's still a very high demand. Reason being is because there's not enough supply out there for all the buyers to find everything that they're looking for, right? So that kind of gives buyers a lot less options on the market. A lot of buyers are opting to wait a little bit, see what comes on the market, and also see if that average sales price might not necessarily correct, but maybe it levels off, maybe it trends down a little bit back to what might be a little bit more what some people would call reasonable, because $718,000 average sale price has never been seen in Miami-Dade before. So as far as across all home types. So wild craziness. What does this mean for sellers? Well, if you're selling a property, it's hardly ever been a better time to sell a property than there is right now in Miami-Dade. Why is that? Boom. Not only months of inventory, not only do you have less competition on the market right now, you have a huge demand from buyers, and your property is going to sell very quickly, right? Also, record high prices, right? So if you want to get the most money for your property, now is kind of the time, right? So that's kind of what's going on with the Miami-Dade real estate market across single family homes, townhomes, and condos. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm definitely looking forward to bringing you some more content like this throughout this year. 2020 was crazy. It was wild and insane. We didn't know what to expect, but we had a lot of good market update videos that I brought you guys to kind of give you some insight into what was happening in the middle of COVID. Now we're kind of getting into this period where the vaccine is starting to come out. We're hoping things are going to go back to like whatever the new normal is going to be. So we'll see if that's reflected in the real estate market as well. And you can bet that I'll be bringing you videos to explain that along the way and give you guys the real raw information. This is coming to you from the Miami MLS. This is direct information from the MLS, not Zillow or any of these other third-party sites that aggregate data, although they do have good, data in some instances, but this is the actual sales data. So this is the real raw stuff. So hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure to subscribe to my channel below if you're on YouTube, or follow my page. Follow me on Instagram at jake.miami. And if there's anything I can do to help you guys out at all, if you need any help in the realm of real estate worldwide, definitely give me a call. All my information is below, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Sell smart, buy bold. Peace.